Well, that's a wrap on 2025, and honestly, good riddance. Ah, I could go on forever about how terrible 2025 has been, but it probably wasn't just bad for me. From what I've read online, 2025 was a terrible year for everyone. Uh, I'll go month by month and tell you guys what happened. So, in January, I started uh, going to a brick and mortar school again, and Yana broke up with me on the my ex-girlfriend broke up with me on the 28th of January, uh, which set off a year-long thing uh, of back and forth shit, almost getting back together and all that stuff. So in February, my grandfather had a massive stroke and had to come live with us while he went to the nursing home. So February was like the last semi-normal month for us. And then in March, he came to live with us and he was here for a solid 7 months before he died in October. Uh, Not much to say about that. It made the home life hell, but what can you do? It's over now. Anyways, in April, I don't recall much from April, to be honest. Besides being, I probably missed a lot of schooling in April because I had constant ear infections. But I remember the Minecraft movie. That was fun. It was 8 months ago, which is odd. You blink and times like that were 8 months ago. But yeah, in May I went to my first party. I went to I went to my first formal. Uh, I had a great time. Oh, I forgot to include in January I overdosed on Benadryl, which would overdosed on Benadryl by about 10 pills over the limit. So yeah, so that would come into play a little bit later on. So in June's when I got June's when I went through driving school. Uh, and took my first round of ACT prep classes, and yeah, my ex girlfriend got back into my life again for a little bit. And then in July, I turned 17. I got my license. I got encephalitis, and in August, I uh, I had my first panic attack, uh, caused by the encephalitis on the 28th of August. On the 29th of August, I had surgery on my nose and ears because of the previously mentioned constant ear infections. And in September, in September, I had my ex girlfriend came into my life once more. I had another panic attack. Uh, I got dropped from math honors due to missing somebody's clothes. No, wait, no, that happened in October. During September in school, I had suffered greatly academically in September. But what can I do about it? Uh, I was probably only in school in September for like the last week of it because of all the surgery and stuff like that. And then October 10th, my grandfather died, which was in October, as previously stated. So I was out for 2 weeks of October. And then the last 2 weeks of school was fine in October. I had fun on October 31st. The last time I saw my crush at the library because I haven't been back since then. So she's probably gone now, whatever. Uh, and it was also my last month of schooling at my brick and mortar school, as November 3rd, I decided that November 3rd is when I went back to my remote schooling. I appreciated the change so much because I was able to focus on my ACT and stuff like that. And then in November, not much happened in November, to be honest. And then in December, once again, not much happened. Oh, I got new dogs. We also got new dogs in August. Also, I sort of fell in love with my teacher, and it made schooling kind of hard because that woman was the only woman I ever really felt safe with, and she was 23 years older than me, so, you know. But what can you do? So, yeah, that was the entire 2025 year for me. It was shit. I hated it so much. This year was honestly worse than 2023. But hey, I know what went wrong this year. First, it was drug use, and then also not being prepared. So I'm heading into 2026 with preparedness. I'm not hoping for it to be a good year or better than this year. I don't have any hope. I'm just gonna take it day by day. Now on to this world and what I think will happen in 2026. 2026 will mark in March of 2026 it will mark 4 years since I lost the Minecraft world before this Ghost South of Stream. My first real nation building Minecraft world. And I have a feeling this Minecraft world is about to go real soon. As, unfortunately, with all the add-ons I've downloaded, the game corrupts just about daily, but you can make copies from the corrupted ones, so not all is lost. So I'm figuring one day I'm going to get the copies confused and end up accidentally deleting my world. Or, more likely, I'm just going to lose it, so I don't need to add any more add-ons, despite all the ones I want. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this world anyway, coming up regardless of the amount of add-ons I have on, because of me going to college and me probably not being able to play my video games all the time, you know? Because as I'm graduating in 2026 and heading to college in fall of 26. So I'm a senior this year. I don't want to talk about that. So, yeah. So what happened in the world this year was a lot, because this Minecraft was my escape through all the pain. From January to March, I don't remember building much besides Dragonstone. Building on the Dragonstone. From April... Wait, no. In February, I built Praise Point. I think I built Praise Point in February. And I know for sure I built Breezeport in 2020, in February of 25. So, two brand new cities this year. And from April to May, I didn't really build anything. I just built on stuff, you know? I didn't really build much this year. as I say that as I'm walking through a brand new street and new additions to Hollyton, but whatever. That happened all in August. So from June to August is when my world started to rapidly develop. In June, no, this was more late. No, this was in June. I built some smaller communities in my Minecraft world to sort of flesh out the western part of my world. And then in July, I downloaded the train add-ons and completely revamped my rail network and advanced machinery. So I completely revamped my world. And in August, I completely revamped Hollyton and the Isle and settled the Isle of Hearse and all this other sweet shit. September to December, it was more of the same, really. I at the ass end of this year, I've been developing Hollyton some more. I'm only able to get all this Deep Slate Road shit going like this because of the construction add-on I just added, which has a big ass drill. So yeah, that was my year in this world. Now there's some more stuff I want to add uh, about symbolism and stuff, because this is also going to foray into my spirituality changes this year. So first off, this year began my Minecraft world in Misery Swamp. I literally began this year in misery. And then in January, around late January, I decided I wanted to build a city, a new civilization in Valandia. I called it Saxton. I literally laid the groundwork for it on January 27, 2025. My ex-girlfriend broke up with me at like 1 a.m. Uh, January 28th. So all that rests of that place now, well, I put up a sign and everything there. But now I've started to, as I started the hill, I built over that place. And there's a whole city over there that I'm building now that's completely unrelated to it. It's a whole different civilization in Valandia. Completely unrelated to everything there, but yeah, it symbolizes stuff. So, also, I, uh, I guess that also sort of symbolizes how there was no future. The ideas of the future that I had for that relationship were crushed when she left. So, the new ideas for my future were built on my own, which would be that new city. I just think that's sort of a sweet way to wrap a bow around it. So officially, I named this region of Covanosis this year. Also, I made Covanosis this year, but I also named this state. This state is now named Stolitz, and it has the Hollylands. It's called the Hollylands, and it is a state where it's split down the border, but has the same name. So one region of Stolitz is controlled by Ruvia, and the other is controlled by Govanosis. If you prosper, it's a village in Stolitz, which is under control of Ruvia, and Hollyton is the capital of Govanosis. So yeah. So I'm trying to, kind of do the opposite of it. So Stolitz is also known as the Holylands, and Prosper is the village in there. And Stolitz in Donlaic means the Prosper Lands. So basically, I'm in Prosper. I know it's cheesy, but whatever. So on to the spirituality stuff. So the school that I recently just left was a Southern Baptist school. Horrible, I know. And this sort of cemented. In June, I started to listen. I was listening to audio books of the Book of Thomas, the Book of John, the Book of Philip, the Book of Mary Magdalene, the Book of Judas, all that. And I really felt, well, the Gospels, I really felt connected to Gnosticism. So I started to look into Sethian Gnosticism and Valentinian Gnosticism. I sort of combined the two for a little while there, and before I realized I really did not fit into normal Gnosticism. But since Gnosticism is so varied, I'm, I'm in my core of my belief, I'm a Sethian Gnostic. I believe the demiurge is evil on purpose. And but I differ in the monad, my interpretation of the monad. I interpreted the monad as just a fountain of life, not necessarily a loving creator. From the fountain, many things come. So, you know, a fountain can easily be poisoned and easily purified. I view Gnosis as sort of breaking the dam. I view the demiurge as the dam from the fountain of life. With knowledge, we extend our life. So yeah, I converted to Gnosticism this year. I've had a long time this year. It was a terrible year. But as I'm in the Prosper Lens looking over, probably for the last time, the last great hurrah of this world that has been with me since the age of 14 years old, this world that has been with me for the final 2 weeks of being groomed, I had this world, and it comforted me through the suffering that brought on, and it comforted me through the suffering of my parents fighting, and it comforted me through the health issues, it comforted me through all the terrible times, it comforted me through Yana leaving me, it comforted me through the changing of school, it comforted me through everything. It comforted me through the life-changing illness and the drug overdoses and all that. So, I love this world. I really do. And when you love something, you have to accept its mortality. So I don't think I'll make one in 2026. I don't think this world is going to see the end of 26. Now, I will dedicate this ending section to what I lost this year. This year, I lost my ex-girlfriend. This year, I lost many pets. So, I will name them. We lost our family dog in August. We had her for 17 years. She was my age. I wasn't really bothered. But I know it affected my mother a great deal. It was the 2nd of August, literally the day I was building this stuff here. I spent the last 4 months of 2025 building in Hollington. But anyway. And then shortly after that, one of my parakeets, Liberty, he died. I really liked Liberty. He was a sweet bird. And my grandfather died this year. And then one of my newest parakeets, Pineapple, she died uh, just recently, this month. I think it was Christmas Day, actually. This goes to show how cruel God is. So yeah, 3 animals died this year, and one person in my family did. It seemed like since 2020, everyone started dropping like flies. It makes me wonder who's going to be next. Probably me. Anyways, so we got Myra in 2009, shortly after, like, shortly after I was born. I was only a few months old. I was close to being a year old. I was born in 2008. So we probably got Myra in early 2009, and she died August 2nd, 2025. And we got Liberty in April, I think, of 2020. Wait, no, 2018. Uh, and he died August either 28th or 29th or 26th of 2025. And we got Pineapple in October of 2020, and she died in December of 2020. So yeah. So I'm going to go over some of the positives that happened this year. The very few. Well, really the feats. So, I brought my GPA up to a 4.0. I had a 4.0 first semester this year, and I have a 4.0 as of right now. Uh, Actually, at my old school before I transferred, I had a 5.0. I started therapy. Uh, I go through about 2 journals a month, and I started taking better care of myself, having a skincare routine and all that. I started lifting weights. I started playing sports. I started exercising. I got a weighted blanket, which has severely, really, really, really helped me with falling asleep. Started to go to therapy, but I think I already said that. So yeah, 2025 was a trying year. It's nothing like 2015, but hey, suffering makes you beautiful. I've done so much this year that I probably never would have done, but at the cost of a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Had I stayed with my ex-girlfriend, I probably wouldn't have had all the experiences I had this year. I wouldn't have met all the people I had. I wouldn't have done the deed for the first time. I wouldn't have, that girl wouldn't put out. I wouldn't have done most of the stuff I've done this year. Holy fuck, it's a lot of iron gold. I've never seen so many iron golds here. I probably wouldn't have done a lot of stuff I have done this year. So, through all the pain, through all the scars, I've seen so much and I've gone so far. That's a wrap for 2025. Goodbye, you horrible year.